Hello and welcome to my world and another Let's Make a Tier List video. This time around, we're going to do one that's focused on soul and blues acts from the 60s and 70s. However, there is a slight problem, actually, a major problem with the random list that I found to come up with this week's tier list video. Um, you'll see in a moment here. It's a rather limited sample, and I myself did not come up with this. I did not create it. It was this individual down here. We will blame Mr. Kemp 53 for it because while it's a good list, one could dare say best of the best, it's certainly missing quite a lot. Just thinking off the Motown record label, who's not on this list of options from like again the 60s and 70s that kind of should be. No Diana Ross, certainly no Supremes, no Martha and the Vandells, no uh no Four Tops. I was like, really? You got the Temptations are listed on this list, but the Four Tops, who are equally as good and have just as many iconic songs as the Temptations, like no Sam and Dave, no nothing. So there is no Booker T and the MGs. What the hell, man? What the hell, Mr. A Kemp 53? But it's like again, it's the first time I'm calling out someone on the list here on the tier list because I'm not, it's a very limited sample size because I'm someone who was basically raised on a lot of this music. Because my father was a disc jockey in South Jersey back in the 80s and 90s up into the early 2000s, playing a lot of the local bar circuits, a lot of weddings and parties and things of that nature. Matter of fact, I got crates of his 45s before he even got CDs. He was taking his records, actual 45s out, and he played the hell out of them. Matter of fact, that's something I want to go through in a series of videos down the line as soon as I can get stuff out of a freaking closet to inventory what 45s have in the collection and actually put them in a proper storage. But that is down the line here. So how am I going to do this particular tier list and try and pad it out beyond the blatant padding I'm already doing here at the very beginning? Well, I already know the artists. I know the songs that I associate with them to various degrees, and so it's kind of going to be put on my personal preference, obviously, on where I will place them on the tier list in question. Now, the tier list, as you saw before, has the five categories of S, A, B, C, and D. None of these artists, these legendary performers, are going in the D tier because if we're going on it on terms of them just being, you know, elites, that's kind of what we got to roll with here. And so I'm not going to go through every single one's individual discographies, whatever songs I happen to know that come to mind um, as we go through each individual one. We will go in order, of course. So first up here, we got the legendary Al Green. Whoops, we're on the wrong screen here. We got the legendary Al Green with obviously the one big song everybody knows of Al Green, the Let's Stay Together. Of course, there's LOVE Love, Tired of Being Alone. Again, Al Green, the good Reverend Al Green. You know, my personal preference off of this list here, based on who the options are, A tier. Because incredible talent, but there is some big names on this list whose body of work I do consider to be greater than his. So I think that's a respectable placement there for Mr. Green, or excuse me, Reverend Green. And speaking of those whose body of work I do consider to be greater and probably a lot more influential to a large degree, next up is BB King. How Blue Can You Get? The Thrill Is Gone. Rock Me Baby, one of the greatest blues guitarists of all time. You can't really argue with me on that one because that's an undisputed fact. Matter of fact, there was an album he did late in his career, a collab with Eric Clapton. He plays basically buries Clapton on it in terms of his guitar playing. And don't get me wrong, Clapton's a great guitar player, but BB King is better. Again, that album's called Riding with the King. And oddly enough, that was actually my own, like in terms of albums I bought. That was the first BB King album I bought because it was kind of unique because they have always had like that. Will they, won't they collaboration efforts as I get myself sidetracked here, but them actually putting out a collab album was pretty cool. But as far as I'm concerned, BB King S tier. It goes into the S tier. Now we have someone that's actually going to be tough for me to talk about because I'm not as in depth into his body of work. Bobby Womack. How I Miss You Baby, about what was it, Across 110th Street, and Breezin', which is I think is more of an instrumental he composed. If I'm not sure if he performed on that or just composed it. My memory at the time I'm recording this is not all there. Problem is, like, I respect him for his contribution. He has some good songs, just not anything I will go out of my way to listen to, and or even just putting a playlist from of songs by these performers. That's on this very limited list. I don't think I will put any of his tunes on it. So, Mr. Womack, sorry, C tier. Don't get me wrong, that's not bad. I'm not saying he's a bad performer or anything or average, just in relation to everyone that's on this list. It's kind of like in my own personal taste. It's like, have I heard of stuff? Yes. Do I think it belongs in the B, A, or S tiers? No, because I won't go on my way to openly to go on YouTube or Spotify to track down the songs. I'm sorry. What am I apologizing for? This is my list. Another tough one. Curtis Mayfield. Move On Up. Freddy's Dead and Superfly. The last two songs are actually on the Superfly movie soundtrack, and if memory serves me right, I believe both of those songs were on charted to some degree somewhere around the world. Like they were really popular songs. And despite the title of Freddy being Freddy's Dead, I'm assure you I'm quite alive at the time I'm recording this. Thank you very much. Um, Again, it's like kind of like Mr. Womack is like it's Mr. Mayfield. It's like I know some of his body of work. It's just not stuff that I would go out of my way to listen to in comparison to everyone else. So again, C tier here. Next, we got the hardest working man in show business ever, Mr. James Brown. Please, please, please. Papa's got a brand new bag. I Got You, I Feel Good, Sex Machine, and like so many others. And if you've never seen James Brown, it's like I've watched footage of him performing, and it's like he people talk about like how great and hard working a lot of performers are today in terms of their dance moves and choreography. Then you go back and look at footage of James Brown from like uh 40 from like somebody 50, 60 years ago. Like, yeah, he kind of set a standard there in terms of what he was doing and the energy he put in, and not to mention so many great songs and his uh and the passion he put into his singing. back when Twitch Sings was a thing, it was like doing James Brown songs. The few that were listed there was really tough because you got to really dig deep to try and even come within 5 light years of the energy James Brown put into a lot of his music. Okay, next up, and the one obvious oddity here, because this here says soul, funk, blues, etc. music, 60s and 70s, and Louis Armstrong is on this list. Now, I believe What a Wonderful World was recorded in the 60s, like mid late 60s. I think also his rendition of Mac the Knife as well. I'm not too sure on that one, but a lot of Louis Armstrong's work is from like the 30s, 40s, and early 50s. And even I'm not all that in depth knowledgeable in terms of a lot of things that he did. Like I think the Jeepers Creepers was like what, somewhere like 40s or 50s. So it's kind of like falls out the purview here. It's kind of like a tough thing because again, Louis Armstrong, great trumpet player, but that's kind of. I'm sorry, I have to go C tier there. Because again, in terms of his body of work and in comparison to everyone else here. Next we got Marvin Gaye. Can I get a witness? Ain't no mountain high enough. Mercy, mercy me. Of course. Let's get it on, and that's just a sample of the music. I mean, Marvin Gaye put out a lot of good music in the 60s and 70s. More so in the 60s, I believe, in comparison to the 70s. And again, the fact that he was taken down at a time when he possibly could have made a comeback in the early 80s. It's certainly a big case of what could have been, and he's actually one of three on this list where I can definitely say that's like what could have been. But Marvin Gaye definitely A tier. Nina Simone. Let's off the top of my head is I Put a Spell on You, and To Be Young, Gifted in Black, and For All We Know. Nina Simone kind of definitely again is the lone female performer that is on the list that was created by Mr. A Kemp 53. Again, this is the list that this person created. I mean, for me, she's going C tier because I love her rendition of "I Put a Spell on You," but it's the only song I can safely say that I definitely know that from her that would go on a playlist. If I was creating a playlist of these performers, "I Put a Spell on You" would be on it. But in terms of, unfortunately, my knowledge of what she's done is very limited there. However, this next individual is someone I know very well. Never met him, obviously, but Otis Redding. Try a Little Tenderness, Mr. Pitiful. That's how strong my love is. One could dare say he was basically the soundtrack, or at least the music was covered in a early 90s film that I really wish I wrote down the name of it because I love that movie because it has a great soundtrack. It was about a bunch of uh, an Irish funk, an Irish soul band, and they did covers of songs from the 1960s and everything, from the 1960s and early 70s, and a good portion of them were Otis Redding songs. So, and I really wish I could remember what the name of that movie. The Commitments. That's what it is. The Commitments. There it is. It just hit me. I don't have I'm looking up here, and what I'm seeing behind me is, as I'm thinking of that, is my Funko Pops of Harley Quinn, Killer Frost, and the Fourth Doctor is what I was just looking at here. I don't have DVDs or anything up on the shelving behind my monitors here. So there you go. It's like that in and of itself kind of says a lot about how good Otis Redding's music was, and then you realize uh he was, he tragically died way too young, as like how much good music or great music he could have made. So definitely A tier there. Next up we got Percy Sledge. When a man loves a woman. Like, and then you got Take Time to Know Her, Help Me Make It Through the Night. Um, some of his more notable songs that I'm familiar with. It's like, again, in the case of Percy Sledge here, When a Man Loves a Woman is a song I would definitely put on a playlist, but I can't say the same about the rest of his body of work. As like, unfortunately, it's another C tier here. Because again, this is just my knowledge in terms of how much I enjoy him and so forth. And so I gotta be honest here. If I said the same thing about Nina Simone, Curtis Mayfield, Bobby Womack, and Louis Armstrong, I'm gonna have to do the same with with Percy Sledge. Ray Charles is probably going to be controversial here because I know a lot of people are going to instantly say like S tier or even A tier for Mr. Ray Charles. But for me, it's a solid B tier. Mess Around, Hallelujah, I Love Her So, Georgia on My Mind, Hit the Road Jack. Great songs in and of themselves. It's like, and he had so many other iconic tunes and performances. Like, I know, much like James Brown, he has a big part in the first Blues Brothers movie with the Shake It Tail Feather musical number. But I honestly I don't like him as much as the five I have above him. It's like I can't. If being true to myself and everything, and not to mention, I would say in terms of his musical talent in comparison to the to Marvin Gaye, to Otis Redding, to Al Green, to James Brown, to BB King, like Ray Charles is kind of like yeah, he's like the middle ground here. So that kind of is what it is. Next we got Sam Cooke, Mr. Soul himself. What Cupid, Good Times, and I can't, honestly I can't think of a third song. I honestly can't. Did he do a song called "You Send Me"? I think he did. Um, in the comment section, when this appears live on YouTube, someone drop that down there. I'll probably look it up in between now and when this goes live anyway. But yeah. Again, much like Otis Redding, Sam Cooke is a guy who was taken way too soon, and unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with a lot of his other work. Cupid is a great song. I'll give that. Good Times is a great song. But again, like C tier just based on my lack of knowledge and in terms of like what else he did. I was go, yeah, I can obviously put him up higher. Stevie Wonder, I don't even have to think about this one. S tier immediately. Higher Ground, Superstition, Uptight, Everything's Alright. So again, an incredible talent, a great, yeah, definitely great vocals and everything, um, and it's like from What was it? What's that album called? What's it called? Musicquarium that had Superstition and Higher Ground on it. Wait, was it called Musicquarium? See, I'm stretching my memory here at this point in time. At the time I'm recording this, so it's like really like I'm half tempted to pull up the discography here. Just double check, but I'm not. It's like it got to go off of my head here. Don't you know? Or do you know? It's my rule. It's my channel. My rules. I can do what I want. But yeah, Stevie Wonder S tier. He has a lot of songs I would definitely put on a playlist with without question. And the last one on here is the only group, the Temptations, and that's S tier right there. My Girl, Ball of Confusion, Just My Imagination is like, yeah, it's like that's an S tier group. You could dare say they are the greatest Motown group on the Motown record label, which is certainly saying a lot when you consider that the Jackson 5 and the Four Tops were on the same record label as well. But that's where I'm going on that with this here. So it's kind of like a tough thing of finding the right tunes here of just what's the word I'm looking for? The right number of the right format, the right formula here of these individual artists. But you know something? Let's see. Can I do this? Trying to think of how we could how we could I want to see if we can put together a playlist here. And I'm not sure. Not exactly sure. It's like what I would put it on playlist from these artists, and I'm trying to pull up. All right, there we go. So what we're going to do here, I pulled up Spotify. I had to figure out how to change something here. So let's go. Let's see. How do you create? It's like no. Let's create a playlist here. So it's like tier maker playlist, and we're only gonna go from artists that we have here. So let's go. And to keep it simple, we're gonna go greatest hits here. So let's see. We start off with Al Green. Let's go. Obviously, Let's Stay Together. We'll definitely be on it. Let's see. Love will be on it here. Take Me to the River will definitely be on this playlist. Okay, so next up we got BB King. Thrill is gone. Okay, we need the full list here. Riding with the King, obviously later, but I'll definitely put it on there. Anthology is actually a great collection of his work here. How blue can you get? Paying the cost to be the boss. Because I have this album too. All right. So we got that one there. Next up, we would have Bobby Womack. Let's see. Probably he has a number of covers, and it's really hard. These are the albums, and I'm trying to think. Was there anything? Just going by. Nope. Just going on the more popular songs. Nothing there. I will put on a playlist. So it's like that kind of is what it is there. Curtis Mayfield. Move on up. Definitely Superfly. The extended version is a bit long, to say the least. Freddy's Dead. Definitely will go on there. And was there anything else? Nothing else comes immediately to mind. James Brown. Well, we're not going to put everything on there. Because we'll be 50th anniversary collection. This is going to come in handy. Please, please, please. Papa's got a brand new bag. I got you. I feel good. It's a man. It's a man's world. Say it loud. Mother Popcorn. Get up. I feel like being a sex machine. Let's see. What else we put up for? Yeah, I think that's a good representation of James Brown. Next up, we have. Wow. Again, this is on this playlist. I like what a wonderful world. Uh yeah, it just doesn't jive. It's like I can't put Louis Armstrong on this list, on this playlist. Marvin Gaye. Heard it through the grapevine. What's going on? Sexual healing. Wait. It takes two. Let's get it on. Mercy, mercy me. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Can I get a witness? A good song, but yeah, we'll throw it on there. It's like when you really start thinking about it, okay, without having to go off the top of my head and actually looking at the stuff more in depth, that kind of is what it is there. Nina Simone. I was like, okay, I put a spell on you for sure. Like, again, that is a great song, but anything else that comes to mind here? Don't let me be misunderstood. I consider that's the Animals. Here comes the sun. I'm gonna throw that one here because just to be on the safe side there. I'm not sure if I associated with her or another artist with a similar voice or temperament. Next, Otis Redding. Otis. Let's see. These Arms of Mine. That's How Strong My Love Is. Mr. Pitiful. His version of Respect is actually real good. I Can't Turn You Loose is very good. His version of Satisfaction not so very good. Try a Little Tenderness. Tramp Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Like again, that is like greatest hits. It's like start thinking, okay, yeah, that's kind of like solid right there. Like it's like already nearly 2 hours worth of good music off of there. All right. Wait. Whoa. Like I went to the wrong thing there. So what was that? Percy Sledge. When a man loves a woman, but let's take a more. Really got a hold on. Me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Really had the dark end on the street. Yeah, we'll go there. So, off the top of my head, I really don't think there's anything else that really stands out. Let's take a quick look here. No, nothing else standing out there. Ray Charles, again, in relation to this list here. Hit the road, Jack. I'll put on this custom playlist that we're doing here. Miss around. And like I like Georgia on my line, but I wouldn't put it on this. I would not put it on this playlist I'm putting together. And now we'll just move on from Mr. Charles. To Sam Cooke again. And he also did What a Wonderful World too. Like and Chain Gang. Yes, Chain Gang. Okay, I had to think there. Twisting the night away. So, and okay, we're coming up with stuff here. We're coming up with stuff here. Was all said and good. Sign, seal, deliver. I'm yours. I just called to say I love you. Superstition. Once in my life. Ooh, that's a tough one there. Not on this playlist. Same as on the Sunshine of My Life. No. Agency. No. got they said it was the definitive collection. Did they have that listed here? The original Musicarium. Okay, yeah, there we go. So I was right. It was Musicarium. Let's see. Why do I keep doing that? I keep doubling it back. Damn it! Kind of funny here. This is like Temptations. It's like, oh, hard to handle. I almost forgot about that. Uh, and it really started looking like who was not mentioned on that damn tier list that we were messing with earlier. It's like Wilson Pickett was on the list. Sam and Dave wasn't. Eddie Floyd wasn't. You know what I said? Papa Rolling Stone was going to be on it. Wilson Pickett, Sam and Dave. Like not Chain of Fools by Aretha Franklin. We're definitely going. We've gone off the rails here. The Tracks of My Tears, most definitely. Midnight Change Jordan by Gladys Knight, yes. Yes. Okay. So, getting back on track here, the Temptations, like had to throw those on there. My Girl, Ain't Too Proud to Beg. Papa Rosso has Just My Imagination on there. Get ready. I Wish It Would Rain. Can't Get Next to You. All right, so and then we went off the rail. We added some stuff that wasn't on there of some artists. Now we're going to see what they recommend here. What I will put on this list. It's Your Thing by the Isley Brothers. We'll put on there. I'll Take You There by the Staple Singers. Yes. What did they add here? This Old Heart of Mine. No. Knock on Wood. Otis Redding and Carla Thomas. Yes. Yeah, Money. That's what I want. Who doesn't want that? Yes. Are they adding anything else here? Let's get a refresh there. Never Loved Man the Way I Loved You. Yes, from Aretha Franklin. Stand By Me. Otis Redding. No. Where Did I Love Go by the Supremes. No. Son of a Preacher Man. I prefer the Dusty Springfield version of it. Sorry. Wilson Pickett's version of Hey Jude. No. The Right Time by I prefer a version by George Thorogood, but the Ray Charles version is not bad. Mr. Big Stuff, yeah. Excuse me, no. Refresh. A Second Daddy Motion, yes. Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Your love lifting me higher. I don't associate that with Otis Redding. I associate that with what? Jackie Wilson. Let's get on. Did I already add that? now, now I'm curious. Did I already have that on there? Yeah, I did. A single version. I was like, okay, hold up there. And the gym, no. Dancing in the Street, Martha and the Vandals, yes. Mustang Stanley Wilson Pickett, yes. Nowhere to Run, yes. Ain't That Peculiar? Damn. Can't believe I missed that one. Let's see. Family Affairs. Good song, but not for this tier list. 6, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Yes. Cold Sweat. Express Yourself. Good time roll, no. Let's see. You're my sunshine. Come on. Love is like a heat wave. Yes. Dance to the music. Yes. Respect for yourself. By the Staple Singers. Yes. Groove Me by King Floyd. Absolutely. Tears of a Clown. Didn't I already add this? Now I'm in case I didn't, we'll add it there. Get up off of that. Yeah, there's one. It's like now I'm just thinking, oh, it's off the top. Oh, we're just flowing here. I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else. Bum, bum, bum. Good times. Green Onions, Booker T and the MDs, yes. Love Train by the OJs, yes. Who got there? Rufus Thomas Walking the Dog. Yeah. Good song. Nah, I don't like it that much. Turn on Your Love Light by Bobby Bland. Yes. Under the Boardwalk. Yes. Land of a Thousand Dances. Yes. Thank you for letting me be myself again. Yes. Hold on, I'm coming. Yes. Tighten Up by Archie Bell and the Drills. Yes. Jackie Wilson. There we go. You love keep. Wow, they're gonna start throwing the Kingsmen on here. Louie. This playlist. Yes. It was like, okay, might be getting some oddities here. It's the same whole song. It's the different beats since you've been gone. Yes, on that one. I find it sometimes no, and I said, on the roof. For the Love of Money, yes. The Twist and Shout by the Isley Brothers, yes. Bernadette. Backstabbers, yes. Soulfinger by the Barcades, yes. We already had Hold On, I'm Coming. Love the One You're With. We'll roll down in there. What else we're getting here? We're rolling here. We're rolling. Funky Broadway, Wilson Pickett. Yes. Reach Out, I'll Be There. Yes. I'll Take You There. Yes. Theme from Shaft. Absolutely yes. What else we got here? What else is? Didn't I already have Knock on Wood? It's like we're passing off here. Let's see. Something up private number. Everyday people. No, we'll pass on that one. Gonna go. Light my fire. Okay, it was Mickey's Monkey. Yes. Jimmy Mac. Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy Mac. When are you coming back? Let's see. Already have all the confusing. Primary Ike and Tina Turner, yeah. We're digging here. Groovin' by the Young Rascals. Oh yeah. That definitely belongs on this list here. Oh, we get some Solomon Burke here. Get out of my life, woman. Gotta give her 9. No. Fuck her up, keep on trucking. The Temptations. They did like a rendition of "Hold On, I'm Coming." Okay, that's new to me. My guy, yeah. Who's making love to your old lady while you were out making love? Johnny Taylor, yeah, that's on there. Going to a go-go, yeah. Good lovin', Yes. What else we got here? Bobby Duran, Mac the Knife. Okay, we'll put that on here too. Let's see here what we got going on. Love Potion number 9. Yes, there we go. Like we're digging down this list. Stagger Lee by Wilson Pickett. Yes. Expressway to Your Heart. Oh yeah, that's a great song. No particular place to go. Chuck Berry. Okay, yeah, we rolled that in there. Mr. We're not gonna scroll back up, but Mr. Pitiful, if I forgot to put it on there. Respect by Aretha Franklin. Yes. Shining Star by Earth, Wind and Fire. Yes. The Smokey Robinson version, I've heard it through the grapevine. There we go. You can't hurry, love. No, you just have to wait. Love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. Absolutely. Da, 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 da. Funky Nation. I prefer the Blues Brothers version on that one. Gotta shop around. Yeah, that's all. That goes on the list. Oh, wait, please, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait, Mr. Postman. Oh, Mr. Postman, can't you see? If there's a letter in the bag for me, oh, Mr. Poe. Phil Kim Chief, you make it this far into it. Yeah, this is bringing back Twitch Sings days at the moment here, because now we're just putting together a playlist here. We already got the ancient seas. Time is Tight by Booker T and MGs. Yes. Beautiful morning. Absolutely. Everyday Peeper by Sly and the Family Stone. Yeah. Number 9. No, we got 6, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 already in there. Baby Love. Yes. Destination Anywhere by the Marvelettes. Yes. Because now that I'm thinking about it, sometimes I just need to see the songs and the artists. It's like, absolutely. Hey Joe, again, Jimi Hendrix's version is better. Give me some. Oh, Sam and Dave did a cover of that? Okay, didn't know that. Refresh. Lemmy Marmalade by LaBelle. Yeah. Blueberry Hill by Fats Domino. Yes. Probably on there. Brick House by the Commodores. Yes. That brick house. David Bowie, Young Americans. Oh, yeah, that goes there. Okay, Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Brown Eyed Handsome Man. I don't associate that with Nina Simone, so I can't put it on there. I would like to, but I know the song, but I just don't associate it with her. Begging, Frankie Valli, in this case, of this playlist, yes. Ain't Got No Home by Clarence Frogman Henry. It's one of the first songs as a kid I absolutely loved. So, yeah, that song on the list. Oh, come on. All right, starting to see Spill the Wine. Yeah, by War. Yeah. Uh, Golden Years, David Bowie. Yeah. Okay. Mockingbird. Think by Aretha Franklin. Yes. And again, I'm starting to see a lot of like the in crowd. They're trying to push that one on me, but we're refusing it here. Not sure if I put shout on there already, but parts 1 and 2 together is actually a great song. Uh, and let's see, anything from no, okay. So going off of the list of the art of the songs of the artists that was on the initial playlist, we went out of the way and put together a playlist that's 7 hours and 20 minutes long. Okay? If anybody doubts me knowing music and being able to put together, okay, take that tier list and then we put together a freaking playlist, taking some of the best songs from that, again, on spur of the moment here. Oh, yeah. I know music, okay? I know music. So, on that note, we'll wrap up this video here. It's like making a tier list, and I guess we'll call this one making a tier list, making a playlist. I'm guessing here again. More this, I was thinking more in the tier list video, but by the time I finish recording this, clearly we made a playlist too. So on that note, tighten your friendship bracelet, stay safe, have a good one, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.